Welcome to the Barker Podcast Collection.
I suck, you suck, I suck at Call of Duty. You suck. You suck. You suck.
Welcome to the Not Playing Podcast. My name's Rob Howard, and this week I'm joined by
Ian Bruce,
Patrick Coe,
and Marcus Hurley.
I started playing Everybody's Gone to the Rapture at the weekend. I've already told you about this, Pat. It's a stunning looking game, it really is. And I think what makes it so stunning is that it's kind of set in Shropshire. So in Shropshire, so it's just like a little village in Shropshire, and you basically just start outside this sort of some kind of, it's like an observatory, and then you basically just walk down this hill and walk into this town and nobody's there, but as you go there's this little ball of light that you're following, and it kind of, and then you, as you kind of go into different houses and different rooms, you go into a pub, everything's desolated, but there's radios with like a signal being broadcast, and you get so like little audio logs and little bits of like what are kind of, I guess, echoes is the common parlance for where we see sort of a scene enacted with just a representation of different people, characters, and sort of, I guess it's down to you to sort of piece together this story of why people have gone missing. And you can kind of unlock this story in any order you like. Reference points probably easily are like the Vanishing of Ethan Carter. Right. However, this doesn't really have any puzzles beyond just trying to figure out where this fucking orb of light has fucked off to. Because you can quite easily follow it most of the time. But last night I was in this really annoying situation where it was quite late and I'd given myself like an hour to play. And I went to exit after an hour and it said, "You have made no progress," which was bullshit because I had just gone through so much narrative in the game. I'm like thinking, well, fuck if I'm going to quit now and have to do all this again. Because quite on top of the fact that, you know, once you've experienced that narrative, that is the crux of what the game is. I'll be fucked if I'm going to go through that all again at the walking pace that you have to walk at. I believe they fixed this on PS4 where you could hold in a shoulder button on the controller to move a bit quicker, but that doesn't seem to be present in the version that's on Steam. So, and I am playing this with a controller because, my God, you might as well, because there is a mechanic when you come across some of these orbs of light where you're tuning in to get like a bead on something, and you're having to rely very much on the force feedback in the controller. When I started playing the game, I was playing it with a mouse. And you have to sort of, that cannot be, that doesn't convey over to the mouse at all. It was very annoying.
Really?
So, yeah.
Didn't get any force feedback in your mouse?
Well, I haven't got any force feedback on my
I was
mouse.
joking.
Sorry, I don't know, Pat. I thought that might be like a thing that you're used to. You have all this gear.
So it's like you saying it was like the game's fault.
I quite like this. Doesn't everyone?
Oh, those were the days though, weren't they, Rob? When we had those weird little, well, they weren't little, those massive Logitech
Yeah, for black and white.
IntelliMouse. What are they called? I can't remember.
Can't you put your controller in, leave it on your lap, and then use your mouse? Because then you'll get force feedback on your lap while you're using your mouse.
I don't know if it
That's
works
an idea.
that way, does it? Well, anyway, look, it doesn't really matter because the game it's not exactly Quake, so
And yet you're still sounding quite annoyed with it.
I was just annoyed with the fact that those save points are so far apart. Otherwise, perfect Sunday afternoon hangover game. I'm just going to explore this beautiful country village.
Yeah, looks nice.
Get a little bit of narrative delivered to me, and there's some they do some really cool stuff with day-night cycles. It will change depending on whereabouts you are. It will change to a different time of day, which I think is another clue they use to try and push you through it without dragging you, because the orb is it's on the nose, isn't it? It's come this way, and I think they really want you to explore stuff, because I backtracked a bit. And I ended up backtracking. I was like, oh, I don't really know where to go. And there's a vague reference. There's something going on at the doctor's surgery, so maybe I should go there. There's something going on at the leisure centre, so maybe I should have a look there. And so I did discover things like by myself, and it's quite rewarding. It does, yeah. So it rewards that exploration. But there is this constant nagging feeling that you are like aimlessly wandering about. And
So it's like Pokemon Go.
yeah, but for couch
But without
potatoes, I
other
suppose.
people.
Yeah, or anyone.
I've gone to the Rapture.
Yeah, but
It looks nice.
it is a beautiful
pretty
looking
game,
game.
isn't it?
I picked it up in the Steam sale. Full disclosure, it was only like £7. But yeah, all I'd say is if you do fancy playing it, just make sure you've got a few hours free to at least get to the end of. I think there's 3 chapters, and each one follows a different character, although they all kind of overlap.
Jesus,
But-
CryEngine as well.
Yeah, it's CryEngine. Yeah, it's the team that made Dear Esther.
Oh, okay.
The Chinese Room. It was originally a PS4 exclusive, but then suddenly popped up on Steam one day with no big fanfare
This
or
would
anything.
look quite nice in the virtual realities, wouldn't it?
It would if you could
yeah.
run it. If you can run that, I mean, my computer is struggling a little. It's not. I'm not getting like locked 60.
It's Unreal Engine, isn't it? I think that one.
It's CryEngine.
CryEngine.
Oh, is it CryEngine?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
CryEngine does not run very well in VR at the moment. In anything I've seen, anyway.
Isn't the Climb
Can-
CryEngine?
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I think so.
Oh, that's an exception then, I guess.
Also, the music in this game is beautiful. There was some really nice, audio-visual cues. I don't want to spoil anything, but like the way it will just sort of land on you, you're like, "Whoa! Didn't see that in the trailers. That's pretty cool. I'm glad they kept that, fairly quiet."
Won a BAFTA as well, apparently.
Yes, I don't know
Wow.
what the award was for, but yeah, it was certainly
Audio achievement, music.
and performance. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I was just saying the music's quite good, but it was also nominated for just about everything else as well. So
Wow.
yeah, that's that. I'm not saying that's why I'm bearing with it, but I did hear good things about it, so I thought it was worth persevering with.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really like I was persevering with it like on Sunday. I was just like, this is exactly what I needed, So yeah, it's pretty cool. Definitely a
Awesome.
nice Sunday
Yeah, I'm
afternoon game.
definitely going to play this one.
Yeah,
Oh, they're from Brighton.
Yeah.
Cool.
yeah. I thought they were British. I mean, they couldn't be from anywhere else. The way this is just exactly
Yeah.
like the sort of place you go through on your way to Glastonbury or something. It's like
Yeah, you just look at it and think, wow.
totally idyllic, and
on.
it feels like it's quite big as well. Like,
And they did Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs as well.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, did they?
Yeah.
big fan of those.
Oh, I didn't realise they were involved with that.
Yeah, developer.
Oh, yeah, they did the spin-off one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, they're very talented studio. I can imagine that they were like. I can imagine after they'd done Amnesia, they were like, right, we want to do something that's not that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something more
We go to the
relaxing.
country.
Kittens.
Let's go somewhere
Kittens
like with
and
trees
rainbows.
and sky and sunshine.
Yeah.
I think this was probably them working
It was
through that.
PTSD treatment for
Yeah.
developers, basically.
Yeah, but yeah, available on Steam and PlayStation 4 now. So yeah,
Awesome.
Good.
well worth checking out. I played Unravel. Finally, got round to that.
Oh, yeah, that looks great.
Yeah, Unravel is the game that was put. Basically, EA backed it, so it was like a little indie game, which is about this little red demon that's got this ball of yarn that he uses to traverse around, and he's kind of limited by how much of this he's got. And your little character actually unravels as you go along, hence the name. But yeah, so because EA backed it though, it's got like sky high production values. It didn't go on sale for very much. It was £15, I think, but I picked it up in the Origin sale for about half that. So yeah, it's really quite nice. I think there's like 10 different levels. Again, similar to Everything's Gone to the Rapture. The backgrounds are almost photorealistic. Some of the puzzles can be a little bit irritating because there's not always one way to solve them, which sounds like a good thing, but it can be a bit frustrating when you're relying, because it's quite physicsy, the way that you're sort of attaching all these, like, because you can basically fix your yarn to different objects to kind of give yourself it's almost like fucking origami or something, like it's like tying knots, it can be quite fiddly to do, but there are a couple of tricks that they use kind of over and over, which is okay in a way, because it makes you feel empowered to know that, oh look, there's a couple of things there that are at a certain distance apart, so I know that if I attach the rope to both sides of it, it will turn into a little like a trampoline, which will get you up high, and then once you're up that high, then you can throw your rope out to attach to like a branch of a tree. And there are, you can't just attach it anywhere, there are very obvious telegraph points that you can get to, but they mess with it in different ways. There are like sort of fast sections where you'll have to get away from boulders, or you'll be like moving along moving machinery and stuff. It kind of treads all those fairly well trodden paths that a lot of these platform games go down, but there's a kind of rough story going on. I think it's about like an old woman, and the fact that she doesn't have much touch of her family and stuff anymore, and it sort of brings up these little sort of stills as you're going along of memories and stuff, and it's quite a sweet little game, I thought. So yeah, it's definitely worth a go. I thought it looked a bit twee when I first heard about it, but it's actually really, I love the traversal of it, like when you're swinging from branch to branch and stuff, and it's unexpected, some of the little turns, like you'll interact with wildlife and the elements. The winter comes, and as it does, and you have to deal with trudging through snow and dealing with objects and them building up, like snowballing literally, and dealing with ice. It's got its token slippy slidey ice worlds, like they all do. But yeah,
I'm really glad you said that, because when I saw this, I couldn't help but think it reminded me of back before it kind of went a bit weird, Little Big Planet. With a little sack boy, which turned out to be a horrendous, hellish, nightmarish version of Mario at the end of it. But
not very good platforming. This does have much better platforming.
That's why I'm quite glad to hear that there seems to be more of a feeling from this rather than that game, which was fun in some respect, but very frustrating. In the execution. So cool.
There are some times where you do think, oh, this has maybe gone on a bit longer than it needed to, because they're relying on those puzzles like over and over. But your mileage may vary, because I personally, sometimes I found it like, oh, this is good, I know how to do this, and sometimes it was like, oh, this again. It's like, just depends what mood you're in, I suppose, when you come to it. But and it's quite a long game. It's not something you can finish in one sitting. I mean, it took me probably about 8 or 9 hours. So it's pretty good value for the asking price, definitely.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And it's nice to see you be involved in that.
It's EA, actually. It's EA. But
oh wow, that's even more interesting. Yeah, I was going to say, because they get a lot of stick, and I was going to make a joke about there isn't a high point and a bale of hay somewhere. But
no.
But don't forget that UB had Rayman for years
and Gone Home as well,
which was
not Gone Home.
Yeah,
the other one, Grow Home. Yeah, with the little robot.
Yeah, so they can be human.
Yeah, it was good. It did feel a bit token when they announced this. It was like the last E3 before the one that was just gone. It did seem a bit token, but it's a cool game, and I think they've done a similar thing. They've got like a partners program or something, and they try and push something out through this to sort of make sure people remember that they have a soul or something. But
to be honest, I was quite cynical about the whole dev thing. You got the Xbox dev thing and everything else, and the ID, I think Xbox call it,
the indie stuff,
where they got the little thing. But I think it can't, as long as it's not getting screwed over too much, it can't necessarily be a bad thing, because then we're getting different types of games coming out rather than just the big AAA money grabbing soul destroying grinding games where it's the same thing. And oh no, it's part 2. He has a blue hat.
I'd rather see kind of like small independent, like physically independent dev teams just being given budget to make a game, rather than just being told exactly what to do.
Yeah, this is totally that. It's like an indie game to its core. But with a budget. With a budget, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
There is an interesting game called Cuphead, which I've been following for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, I know the one you mean.
It's like a 1920s, 1930s cartoon.
Like Steamboat Willie,
I think it's a side shooter sort of thing, yeah. And that looks... Because I just love the idea of games that are looking like animated pieces. Yeah. And, that sort of thing.
It's supposed to be crushingly difficult, though, that game. I've heard.
Oh, it's old school.
Yeah. This has been the Not Playing Podcast in partnership with notlistening.co.uk, where you can also hear myself and Ian talk about movies and TV on the Not Watching Podcast.
And Marcus.
And Marcus as well. And Adam, Ash and Will talk about all manner of funny things on the Not Listening Podcast. You can email us at notplayingpodcast@gmail.com, or you can tweet at or follow us on Twitter at notplayingpod. You can find the show notes for this show at notlistening.co.uk, and if you're listening to us on iTunes, then please do give us a review. 5 stars will help us. That's all for now. Thanks for listening. See ya.
My friend, I'm inclined to agree, 'cause I suck at Call of Duty. There's no hope for me. I suck at Call of Duty. I suck at Call of Duty. There's no hope for me. I suck at Call of Duty.
Pat, you've turned the light off in your room, haven't you?
No, I don't know what happened.
There's such an opportunity there. If you went to darkness, snuck around the back and got like a mannequin in a scary pose and then turned the light on.
Brilliant.
That would have been brilliant,
Behind you.
And then just keep moving it every now and then.
Is that the film?
Yeah, it's not a bad film for what it is, but yeah.
No, I need to see that.